let's get in this Rai spell crafter. You want to go ahead and read that one?
Right. Yeah, level 1 cost again. And that seems to be pretty standard. Their cost is their level number.
Yeah, you're right. We could probably skip that unless it differs.
Yeah. He's a human mage. His starting hit points is 19. And on enter, put 2 enlightenment counters on Rai. You may remove 3 enlightenment counters from your champion to draw a card.
Yeah, nice and easy. He does start with 1 less health than Lorraine. Lorraine starts at 20, I believe. The enlightened counters, I think I like it at 2. I think it'd be too strong if you put it in and had 3 and was able to automatically draw a card.
Yeah.
So I like it there. I was going back and forth about that in my mind, but I think that's right.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of his deck is to ramp up those tokens, but I feel like his level 1 is not really overwhelmingly good. You're really trying to get him to at least level 2. He really starts to function at level 2. But he just starts to ramp here at level 1.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, he doesn't do anything here. He doesn't even add to it. All he does here is give you the mage class bonus. And two enlightened counters. He has no way to get more. He doesn't really have any real you know what I'm saying.
In the deck though that we've played when we were doing the previous videos, there were a few cards that even generically he could use to put tokens on himself. They were pretty expensive, and they were also based on what level he was, so you really wouldn't use them at level 1. But if you were desperate, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
you might.
I mean, adding 1 counter gives you the ability to draw a card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like a complete loss. And we'll just jump right to level 2. I don't think there was like we said, there wasn't a ton to talk about there.
He's super plain there. You're not going to keep him at level 1 for more than a turn or 2. Usually, unless you've had to pitch something really good, you're going to take him straight to 2.
Yeah. Very much. So speaking of which, we'll go to level 2, Rai Archmage. Rai Lineage. Inherited effect. Whenever you activate your first mage action card each turn, put an enlighten counter on your champion. So again, this is where you get to start ramping up enlighten counters and then deciding what you're going to try to do, whether draw cards. And I think it really does come down to the end game where you're going to get to draw like 2, 3, 4 cards and then kind of like make it happen from there. There's probably
Depends on which way you split. Like his basic wand also takes enlighten counters and deals damage with them, so it's like there's a lot of different lines that you can do once you start getting the enlighten counters.
100%
in the starter deck. So
no, 100%. But again, that's going to go into what kind of strategy you're kind of running too. Like
sure.
like the end game. Like, you know, there's the one card that puts like 6 of them on there and some shit. You know what I mean? So like but again, if you're up against, let's say, the Tamer, I don't know if this is fact or not, but maybe Tamer has a lot of one toughness creatures, and that wand becomes, you know, insurmountable to where you get to ping 1 creature every turn for an enlightened counter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But the other huge thing is this is an inherited ability. So this one actually stays with the card as it levels up.
Is that what? Is that what that? Oh, yep.
Yeah. So this is the first one that we've seen from the 2 starter deck characters that actually
Oh,
has the inherited ability. So this one, you kind of need to keep a little exposed unless you're both very familiar with the game,
yep.
so that you can remember that this still is in effect even once you've leveled up.
Yeah, that's actually super interesting. I didn't notice that. The inherited effect, that's I actually just thought that worked for all heroes, but I
Well,
got
most
you.
of them are on enter abilities. So,
Oh, that's fair.
um, but this one actually stays with them. So before that, all of the other ones were just like a one shot.
Got you. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. We'll go to level 3 Rai Stormseer. And this is the one out of.
Out of the beginner deck, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, this is the level 3. This is going to unlock Arcane. This is the card that's going to let you play the Arcane spells in your deck. Um, again, the level 3s are going to unlock whatever the class's ability. That's what it probably is the class's ability, and not really the second element. It's probably more of the class ability.
Yeah.
Um,
Mastery of the mage arts.
yep, exactly. And this one again is a Rai lineage, and it says Rai gets +1 level for each arcane element mage spell card in your banishment. And this is important because some of his things get discounted by his level to cast them. I believe the 11 damage spell is one of them.
Yes. So as you're going through, like when I was playing in the starter deck, it was really like, okay, I'm gonna pitch this, this, and this. Now that I know that nothing in there is important, I'm gonna level up so that I can get these arcane cards out of my hand.
Right.
And then I know that when when Rai gets up to the third level, I'll be able to blast you with 2 11s in a row if I need to.
And I probably did. And I probably did from there. Uh, but yeah, like that's and again, so when I talk when we were discussing end games and stuff, have to remember we only played this print and plays. So like this is the card I'm thinking of when I think of mage, and Blade Master is the card I'm thinking of when we talk about Lorraine's like end games. It's because I have no frame of reference to something like Rai Mana
Yeah, no,
Weaver.
yeah.
Yep, you can go ahead and read this one here.
See, now this gives you a completely different path to follow with the tokens. Rai, he's a lineage. He has to be leveled up again, of course. He also gives arcane, um, and then he gives you the ability of exhaust him, remove 4 enlighten counters, and then he gets to copy a mage spell. Like, that's just insane. He can choose a new target if he wants to. But that's so much.
Yeah, no, it's super good. Especially because it's like copy a mage spell, so that means you can use the discount on the. I can't remember the name of the card, but the 11 damage spell. You get to cast that before you remove the 4 counters, and then that would copy. Because again, I think that discounts by the level.
Yep, and you get all kinds of things throughout the game to level yourself up a little bit.
You
You have
know,
allies that'll give you levels and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I actually take that back. These have nothing to do with level, so I want to take that back. I was conflating the two together. And lighting counters aren't level, so they don't actually discount. So that actually doesn't work the way I just said.
You were also trying to discount for the cards in graveyard. You were trying to give it both abilities there.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. I was
Yeah.
I was mixing it all together.
Tired of looking at all the awesome Grand Archive cards on the internet? Wish there was somewhere you can play with people as excited as you? Well, stop being a sad Sylvie and start being a smiling Xander, because Treasure Hoard Games in the Chicagoland area has got you covered with their first print and play tournament.
All right, so for the next two heroes, it looks like they're all jumbled up. So are we going to go in the correct order, the play order, or are we doing a...
No, yeah, we're gonna do level 1 Sylvie Wild Whisperer to start.
All right.
And I know you're excited for Tamer, so go ahead and have at it. Let's hear your thoughts and
It's not as much of an illusionist as I thought it was. Like, it's real animals and not fantasy animals, but I'm still cool with getting beasts and animals and allies. Like, I think I just like the swarm.
sure.
Like, I love illusionist and stuff, but I was thinking more like fantasy beasts, like, you know, unicorns and dragons and angels and fairies and stuff like that. But
I got you.
yeah. So I was thinking more of a summoner than a
Tamer.
like a... Yeah, this is more
Animal
of like a
tamer.
druid. Yeah. So when this enters play, the next animal or beast ally card you activate this turn enters the field with an additional buff counter on it. And that gives the ally +1 power and +1 life.
Buff
That
counter.
just seems good in general. Like, it
Absolutely.
just insta buff. You don't have to go to the gym or anything.
You always got to do something. She's shooting them up with those performance enhancing drugs. Yeah. Power thirst.
Yeah. Where's my muscle milk? Where's the protein, Mom?
So many babies.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. This enters, and then you get to play another creature. The creature comes in a little stronger, nice and easy, very clean design. I dig it. I dig that very much, actually. From there, we will jump to Sylvie with the pack, and this is going to be a Sylvie lineage level 2. And this says, if you control an animal ally, draw a card. If you control a beast ally, draw a card. I can already tell you, I love this because it gives you the opportunity to draw 2 cards immediately from coming in. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You're just drawing cards. I got nothing for it. No notes, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's sick, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, I still feel like that's super powerful, though. Like, it instantly replaces itself. Like, it
As long as you
replaces
have
the
the
2
board,
cards
yes.
you banish.
As long as you have the board, yes.
Yeah.
Like there's the push and pull, because like you might get to level 2, you might get to turn 2, and then you have to make a decision. Do I want to progress a board, or do I want to bump her up? More than likely, you're always going to want to bump her up. I'm not saying that's really a feasible option, but it does give you the push and pull between that. Or maybe you didn't get to play enough to play her next turn, so you're going to play a bauble, and then you gotta do you wait to make sure you draw 2, or is drawing 1 good enough? You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm saying. Is there's like a lot of push and pull to it about when you actually do it. Like, is drawing 1 good enough? Do you want to set up for drawing 2? Don't forget you're still at low life because this is only level 2. So I think she started at 19. So like if they're putting pressure on you, you might have to do this with no bonus.
Yeah. Just to get the life, that'd suck.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like if they have you under control and you're having the block all the time, or like I said, depending on what your hand is, and there's a bunch of ways this can go south. But like I wonder what I think worst case scenario is you want to draw one card. As long as you can draw one card from it, cool.
Yeah, for sure. I can't imagine playing it without being able to draw at least one, but I mean, if you're desperate, you got to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's my point because you're right. Like if you have the time, I think you always draw two. I think you always draw two if you have the time.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
let's go to Loved by All.
All right. I was gonna say we don't know which one is the regular and which one is.
Well, there isn't a regular. Again, we're calling it regular just because we've played the starter decks. It doesn't make it regular. That's just the deck they gave us to learn the game. So
Yeah.
both these level 3s are her regular. They're both lineaged. You know what I mean? I think we just have a skew because we're used to other card games, and
Yeah, man.
all we've played are the starter decks. So it feels like that's the regular version. But like again, these are the endless deck building possibilities that they speak of.
I'm just figuring that we probably get one of them in the starter, and then you got to pull the other one.
Sure. I think they're all in the set though.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. But you're right. And then you have to decide because now don't forget your material deck only has 12 slots. Now you can give yourself the option to have both level 3 Sylvies. And you can decide on the fly during the game, but it takes up an extra slot. Now your hero slots are 4 out of 12. So now, you know what I mean? Like a third of your material deck is your heroes and not pieces of equipment and stuff, which again, I think is cool. You can decide whether you want to do that. You can take one out and put an extra piece of equipment in and be like, I'm only going to run Loved by All. But if you didn't want to, you get to put all those in your material deck and they just become which one are you choosing? The other one's dead.
Yeah. So there's if you do bring both level 3s, you're always going to have a dead card in there, but I feel like it is likely that each of these level 3s probably works better or worse than the other against certain heroes.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't imagine that there isn't some kind of situational difference, when you're facing 3 different decks.
100%.
Sometimes each of these things are going to be there, but
Well, I mean,
I guess it depends. Like, most of the time, I really feel like Lorraine is going to be more powerful with the one we've been playing than the other. But I haven't looked through all the swords either, so there could be something
right.
just insanely good that you're bringing back from the graveyard.
Yeah, for the cards we've played, I don't think that's very good. But I also believe there's probably a sword or two that you're like, I would love to play that and get it back and not lose it, going forward. And then again, case in point for what we're saying about what's better in each matchup. This is like a perfect example. Sylvie Loved by All has animal and beast allies you control get 1 extra health and have intercept. So now they can protect Sylvie. And so if somebody's amassing a board state, say you're playing another Sylvie, being able to make your beasts a little healthier and be able to block for you might be the right thing to do over the other card, which we'll get to in a minute. But like, I can see the use case for this card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That one seems.
I mean,
That one seems
yeah,
insanely powerful. If you're running a heavy ally deck, so.
Well, no, I see. I think it's if you're against a heavy ally deck because this doesn't give extra attack. So like, it doesn't make you more aggressive. It makes you more protected.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if you're playing against Lorraine, who's trying to outrun you, in
This
most
gives you
matchups,
this gives you
seems like
blocks,
this gives
100%.
you lots of blocks.
Absolutely. And that's what I mean. Or if you're playing Sylvie and she has a bunch of creatures out, giving yours a little more health and giving them the ability to block is probably better than an aggressive version, which I'm assuming we'll see here in a second that Earth's tune might be a little bit more on that thing. Now this is cool because it's got a little music theme to it. Dude, this card's sick looking.
Yeah, I bet foil that's gonna be
Dude,
just
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Like all of the feathers and the music notes and stuff like that. That looks cool as shit.
I hope they make those music notes like pop. Like that's how I see this. Is like the music being foil.
Yeah, that would be a cool
Right?
artwork for sure. Like a nice promo art or like a reverse where everything's shiny but the notes.
Oh yeah, or like in my head, it's all the notes are shiny and nothing else is. But yes, exactly, same thing. Excuse me.
This does seem like the more aggressive play. Like in this one might be the one that you play against Rai. Reveal the cards from the top of your deck until you've revealed a Terra Elemental or a Terra Element animal or beast ally. Then put that card into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck in a random order. So yeah, so this is bringing out your level 3, your mastery level
Your
creatures.
your class mastery type cards.
That's what I'm thinking this is like it's a mastery thing. Like
Yeah, you get the level
Terra,
3 and you're it. Yeah,
you're officially like a druid now. You're one with the earth.
I agree.
And now you have the power to summon it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's super sweet. That gives you a it's basically what's it called magic? Like forbidden alchemy. Look at the top 4, put one in your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the top
Except
of your no, this is
it's
better
a
than
Terra, so it's better. So it's like look through your deck for your uber powered cards that you can't play until you've leveled up 3 times. Put one of those in your hand and get to play it next turn or immediately.
Well, you reveal from the top until you reveal, so you don't get the thumb through. It's like a little of both of what we said. Like you reveal cards.
Well, no, but I'm saying like it says a Terra. So it's only those allies. So those are going to be, I feel like those are your uber powerful cards because that's your level 3 only. You don't get those until the end of the game. So those are your game ender cards. That's what I'm expecting them to be anyway. So I'm thinking your Terra cards is going to be like a big, like 5/5 beastie, like a dire wolf or something.
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, it's just like Crux and it's just like Arcane. It is your big beefy spells. I don't think there's a question that it's your more powerful stuff. You have to be level 3 and have to have the class mastery. I guess I like the way we put that. The mastery of the class to play them. So like, there's zero doubt that it's the more powerful thing. You're not going to play a 1/1 squirrel with Terra. You know what I mean?
Terra. So that's just gonna find. That's gonna let you go through the top of your deck until you find the most powerful, potentially powerful cards in your deck. So these are your game-ending cards, and it's gonna search for the first one that's coming up. So you just gotta hope that you just got a lot of beef in that position, and
100%.
you have something that can just smash.
And I also like that this solves one of the things we talked about, and how you didn't want to get rid of your arcane cards, but I said that I like to pitch my, the Crux cards early and stuff like that. She lets you kind of do whatever, because when you get to this level 3, you're gonna get a Terra card. So it doesn't matter.
There's still gonna be something that you kind of protect, but those are still the turns that you materialize a 0. Like if there's too many things if there's too many bad hits, if you lose the card, that's when I play my zeros.
Yeah, sure. I mean, absolutely.
So
Like you said, there are things you'll protect, but my point is that say you couldn't, or say you played something big, or you just ran out of cards. It does happen. Like you know what I mean? Like if you get into a race situation again, sometimes you might just need that life. I like that she makes sure that you're going to get a Terra card because no
yeah,
other hero so far guarantees you're going to have a mastery card when it's time to play a mastery card. It happens to me a lot. I have Crux often, but by the time I have Lorraine level 3, I'm down Crux cards because again, I'm not trying to lose the cards I can play during the early part of the game to hang on to cards that I might not live to play if I don't, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So again, I just think it's cool that she will guarantee that you get a tarot card. It's a random tarot card, but you get a tarot card to play from her just entering the battlefield.
I mean that's like if you got to choose if Lorraine got to choose at level 3, she got to choose one of her swords to put on.
Right, be very good.
So
Well,
like that's what her ability's doing here, except I mean you're still gonna be able to choose what's in your deck, so you're always gonna be able to set yourself up with the right cards once you start building everything out too.
right. I mean, yeah, you're gonna decide what tarot cards you have, but you don't get to decide what tarot cards you draw.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just gonna have to make sure that you only put things in there that you'd like to hit.
Very much. Very much. She actually seems really sweet. I'm actually kind of a fan of that.
Yeah.
Sylvie
I
looks really
think
good.
that I actually still am probably most interested in the tamer character just because of I like the beast thing. I like having creatures and I don't know, it makes it feel more like magic, I guess. Which is what got me into this crap to start with.